Happy Friday, everybody. Andy and Steve from wagertalk.com. Going to get everyone ready for the weekend on our Road to Millions. Hope everyone had a great Thursday. For us, not a great Thursday. Lost a couple tennis plays. We only had 1% baseball play that we lost. So tennis was kind of the bummer. We gave back the units and then some that we made the day before. But realistically, all eyes are on golf and mixed martial arts coming into the weekend. So, Steve, it was a light baseball day yesterday, but we're back at it today. And I think you and I made the decision. We're kind of done with Yoshida at this point, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to jump off the Yoshida train. We had been playing his under half a strikeouts prop. We've had some great success with it and made some profit on it. I've recently he's tailed off a little bit. He's striking out a little bit more. Struck out twice in that last game prior to him being rested. He was benched in the next game for rest, and he's got a tough matchup tonight. Herman he's 0 for 2 against him with a walk, and he struck out once against him already. So we think we're going to take our profit with this one, move on, and look for some new props moving forward, potentially with some of these hits plus runs plus RBI props that we've been having some success with.
Yeah. So when we're looking at these streaks, we want to make sure that they're profitable, and then we want to get out before we give all of it back. So
yeah.
So when we look at Yoshida, when we say slow down, he's 7-5 in this month, to go under. So it's a little bit profitable, but we just think we can do better, and we see him kind of starting to slow down just a little bit on the string. So it's a perfect time to really kind of just kind of get out of here, take our profits, and move on to the next one. So it's kind of one of the things that Steve and I have been talking about for a while. Like, when do you abandon these streaks? And really, the time is do it when it's profitable. That way you can walk away and say, hey, we rode that Yoshida one pretty good. Let's say Yoshida does keep going and does have a nice streak. It's okay. We left with a profit. So we're just looking to hopefully find something else here. So
100%.
Yeah. So what do you make of the Oakland Athletics here, Steve? They're playing the Phillies. They finally lost. Is this crazy enough? Is this a play-on team? Is it still great value, or are they going to revert back to the AAA team that they resembled before their winning streak?
Gosh, I can't look at them as a play-on team, right? Even after winning all those games, it's tough to have any faith and confidence in them to win on a nightly basis. I know tonight Sears is pitching for them, so against Walker, and I think they have a pretty solid chance to actually win tonight. But I don't know going forward. I don't know if I'd be riding them for any sort of long-term hot streaks going forward. That might have been as hot as they're going to get this season during that little span right there.
Well, I tried to sugarcoat Thursday, but Greg coming over the top with a right-hand knockout. Terrible Thursday. Oh, sorry, Greg. They can't all be winners. I'm just kidding. We gave out a play on Prop It Up. It's a client play, but also did it as a free play. Bryson DeChambeau over Justin Thomas, round 2. We just went over that. Love everything about it. So that's a client play, but it comes all the golf plays. So you can hear the breakdown of that on Prop It Up that I recorded with Andrew yesterday. Speaking of that, Andrew cashed the very first leg of his CFL 5% play that we talked about. We just need Winnipeg to close it out tonight. That's the second to last play. And be honest, last night was kind of the one game I was like, yeah, if there's a game that might trip it up a little bit, that would be the one. But there's something kind of I wanted to kind of touch on, Steve, about kind of how we do our handicapping. And one of my really good friends, Sacker, who you guys have heard me talk about before, he pitched at University of Pittsburgh when he was in college. And he taught me this in baseball, but it's true in just about every sport. It is so much easier for a bad team or a bad athlete to be bad than it is a great team or a great athlete to be great every single night. So, a lot of times what we do is kind of fade the bad, which is, you know what I mean? It just feels like it's easier for bad teams to fail night in and night out than it is the good ones to achieve greatness every single night. So when we do streaks, Steve, we're kind of fading a lot of the time, right?
Yeah, a lot of the times we're looking at fading these teams that we're just looking to go with their competition. You know what I mean? We're just counting on them being so bad that they just continue to lose. And there's something to that. I do believe that it's obviously much harder to achieve greatness than it is to achieve, to be horrendous, essentially. You know what I mean? It's especially when you get into these funks. Some of these teams get into these funks, and it's just a mental thing. Baseball, especially, it's a grind every single day, and you just keep getting your teeth kicked in on a daily basis. It's hard to come back that next day, and all right, let's give it another effort, guys. After you just lost 8-2 the night before,
And 6-3 the night before that, and 4-1 the night before that, and 3-0.
And it just carries over you, the bullpen, the lineup, and a guy, pitch hitters, anything, and these guys just stay cold, and that's what we're counting on with some of these streaks.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully we will, as Greg, you correct me, terrible Thursday. So we'll get it back. We always do. And honestly, whenever we have a down tennis day, A, it's very surprising. But B, I kind of get excited because the tennis, you don't go on losing streaks with the way Corbin does our tennis plays. Losses are kind of the losses are sprinkled here or there in between the wins, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's talk a little golf. So our 5% play, Cameron Young. Well, it's Hideki Matsuyama over Cameron Young. They tied yesterday. They have teed off. Hideki Matsuyama is -1 and Cameron Young is +1 right now. So we have a 2-shot lead. This first 9 holes are going to be extremely important on this 5% play. Cameron Young is playing the front 9 right now. Hideki Matsuyama is playing the back 9. Why is that important? Matsuyama is on the harder of the 9 holes. Cameron Young is on the easier. So the fact that Matsuyama is -1 and Cameron Young is +1 is a great freaking sign. We want Cameron Young to be struggling going into that back 9. We have Victor Hovland to be the top Scandinavian. So far, so good. He looks pretty good. He was -1 yesterday. Really, just need him to make the cut, and he should be good. He should beat everybody. And then we have Eric Cole versus Lucas Herbert. Lucas Herbert played great yesterday. He was even par. Eric Cole one-upped him. He's -1. I expect Cole to make the cut. Herbert, maybe we get lucky and blow up. He's not that very good. Oh, this is funny. So Greg was referring to just us. Okay. It's all right, Greg. You can tell us we had a terrible Thursday because we kind of did. So the one that is a tough one that I'm scratching my head over is we have a make the cut parlay. We have Justin Rose to make the cut. This guy's not missed a cut all season. He's one of the best. He's the best player on bent grass, which is the type of grass that they putt on. Great approaches. Don't have to hit the ball long. This course is set up beautifully for him, Steve. Well, he's tied for 140th. He's gonna have to shoot -4, -5 today to make the cut. It was just, oh God,
brutal.
It is tough. So, but Corbin joins us.
Corbin here to take the blame.
Corbin apologizing and saying you take the blame is right because he's #1 in tennis and soccer this year. So you do not have to apologize, brother. Corbin, you're doing just fine. We got Formula One race and we got our MMA plays that are up. But if you guys do not have our plays, reminder that every Friday we do this. Andy3, use a promo code Andy3, 3-day pass for $39. I don't want to say this is the best deal on Wager Talk, but we were up 6 units again last weekend, 37 units the weekend before. Since we've started doing this, we've turned a profit every weekend except one. It just feels like weekends are where we have our most plays. I don't know if it's the nature of the sports that we do or whatever, but 3 days for $39. I mean, you could basically do your road to millions on this.
And it's a great deal. I mean, you get all the weekend sports like you had mentioned. I mean, that's when we're heavy with MMA and UFC and golf, tennis, and all those other sports that, and then the daily sports are still going during that time. Obviously, that's all tailed down other than MLB, but the weekends is where we seem to have a lot of action. And for less than $40, you get all 3 days. It's a great deal.
Yeah, really, really good. So, Yeah. So, Rich, what's going on? Max Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, top 10 -166. Yeah. Formula One should be really good. Practice goes off in about an hour and a half. So, a lot of really, really good plays ready for this weekend. Um, Steve, can you give us a little update? You've been firing away NFL articles on a lot of the awards. And next week, we're going to start recording these videos and putting them on. We're basically taking the articles that Steve is writing and we are making them just into videos. So, can you tell everyone what you've been working on with the articles? And I don't know, any interesting tidbits that you've kind of discovered or things that surprised you a little bit?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work with so far I've started with the player awards. So I've done a lot of most receiving yards, most passing yards, most rushing yards, a lot of that stuff. Delved into some of the rookies a little
Mm,
bit recently, so I found some interesting stuff there. I'm not as familiar with some of these rookies until they get into the league. So I found some nice nuggets of information there. Putting out some good sleepers, some good straight picks on them. I'm doing a thing where I'm doing 2 picks for each one because they're all big plus money. So you put equal bets on both of them. That's my plan. Is that if one hits, you get some nice cash. And
yeah,
yeah, I found some great stuff. I think I'm really digging out some great stuff for the NFL moving forward.
nice, nice. I read the one I really like the most receiving yards. I mean, it's Justin Jefferson, and I isn't it like him by a mile if he stays healthy?
It's funny you mentioned that one because that's my favorite one as well. We actually took him for most receiving yards last year and cashed that ticket. If you look at his progression over the 3 seasons, he's literally increasing his yardage by about 200 yards, per season
Wow.
in the 3 seasons since he's been in the league. He's a guy that's talked about wanting to hit that 2,000 yard mark to be the first guy to ever have 2,000 yards receiving. And I just love his system with Kevin O'Connell as the new head coach over there. Another big part is that Thielen moved over to Carolina. So now, I mean, he had the highest target share last season by a wide margin, and now with him out of the picture, with Thielen out of the picture, they're going to be force feeding Jefferson. So I love him to have the most receiving yards again this season, and I think it's
It's like
plus
7 to 1.
six.
Something,
Yeah,
something, something like six
plus
to one,
plus
7 to 1.
800 or something. Yeah, plus 800, 600 or 800, one of the two. It was.
Yeah, I read that article and kind of looked up the other wide receivers. Like, man, it would take a Herculean effort from somebody else to pass him. I mean, you're really gonna have to have an injury or something for him
Yeah,
to not get
a
there.
100%. And what I was really targeting there was looking for players that have that opportunity to be the lone receiver. The main guy getting fed the ball, as opposed to some of these other teams that have other guys that have duos and such. Basically, have to split up those receptions. And Jefferson's that guy this year. He's going to be. We loved him last year, and we love him again this year.
Yeah, yeah. He's a sleeper for me in fantasy football drafts. So
Yeah, there you go.
I'm hoping he slips to the fourth or fifth round in PPR for me. So
Maybe the fourth or fifth pick.
yeah, he'll go number one in some PPR drafts, 100%.
Yeah, I took him last year with my. I think I had the second pick, and I took him last year. I was really high on him, and I got some flack that night for it on the message board. Should have been
Perfect.
taken. Yeah, exactly. Should have taken Eckler. Should have taken this guy, and it worked out great for me. I had a great season with Jefferson in that league.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, guys. So you just use the promo code. You get all of our plays. It starts with MMA tonight. I mean, starting this afternoon, we got a round two golf play, and then bang, PFL, Bellator. We got MLB tonight, golf all weekend, UFC on Saturday. Tonight, we got to cash the second leg of Andrew's 5% play. So, a lot of really, really killer stuff. So, all right, guys, let's do a free play. I will take this one from here. And what's up, Jim? Jim Malero's in the house. Just a just feeling good Friday. All the usual suspects are here. So
On the message board, yeah, it's great.
yeah, absolutely. So thanks, guys. I would say give us a like and a subscribe, but I know you guys already do. So all right, we'll do a free play here, real quick. So we'll pause. Everybody, Andy and Steve from wagertalk.com. We've got a free play for everybody. We're going to go to the UFC and give out a free prop at plus money. If you want to use the promo code Andy3, ANDY3, get you a 3-day pass for $39 We were over 6 units last weekend. We were over 37 units the weekend before. It's been a really, really good deal. We run it every Friday. Weekends have been fantastic for us. If you're following our Road to Millions, just the weekend plays alone have been doing really good. So encourage everyone to do that. We have do this every Friday. So promo code Andy3, 3-day pass, $39. All right, let's get to the free play here. Steve, I'm going Dennis Bondar and Carlos Hernandez. I'm guessing you probably haven't heard of these guys in the.
I haven't myself.
Okay, so Bondar comes over from, I believe it's a Russian league or a Ukrainian league. The rules are brutal. I mean, you knee guys in the back. You can do all kinds of stuff. He
Love
had a
it.
UFC debut a while back. It lasted a minute, and he broke his elbow, like trying to get up. It was this very strange injury. So his first fight lasted a minute. I have this to not go the distance. Bondar's last 9 fights have not gone the distance. Carlos Hernandez got finished in the first round in his last fight. He was fighting Alan Nascimento, who's a submission guy. I think this is not going to go the distance all about Bondar because we don't know how Bondar is going to fare in the UFC. He's either going to be great or horrible. And he's going to push forward. He's going to try and pour it on Carlos Hernandez early. I think someone gets finished very early in this one. Wouldn't surprise me at all if one of these guys goes to sleep or gets caught in a submission early on. You can grab this at plus 110. Fight will not go the distance. Bondar's style is pretty overzealous. And to be honest, Carlos Hernandez is not very good. Getting finished that early in the first round in the last fight means there's not a lot of defense on his side. So neither one of these guys truly impresses me defensively. I think this doesn't go the distance in a plus 110. I think it's fantastic value. So if you want to get all of our plays, we have all of our PFL, Bellator, UFC, golf, Formula One, MLB plays up at wagertalk.com. Use the promo code Andy3 for a 3D pass for $39. Good luck, everyone. Let's have a great weekend, and we'll see all of you later.
Good luck this weekend.